Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to all of you on the 5th anniversary of Washrooms and Beyond and WB Honours 2015. My name is Sachin Kumbhar. I am your host for the evening. 5 years of journey and a successful journey of climbing the ladder each year. I would now like to call upon the lady who holds the fort, Ms. Sheetal Shetty, editor and publisher of Washrooms and Beyond, to set the tone for the evening.
Thank you, Sachin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've had some tremendous growth in creating 3 publications and 3 properties in different subjects, whether it's washrooms, kitchens, sanitation. We are only looking forward to grow more. So thank you so much, and we look forward to this continuous support from all of you all. Thank you very much. I'd now like to invite Anurag Yadav, our consulting editor, to speak a few words.
Hello, everybody. Like Sheetal said, it's 5 years, and it seems like yesterday. When we launched WB, we had a very clear focus in mind, that in the crowd of publications with a varied focus, we were determined to keep it heavy with good content. Thank you once again, and have a good evening.
Now it gives me immense pleasure to invite on stage Dr. Prem Jain, Chairman, Indian Green Building Council, Chairman, ACOM India, for a special address.
Namaskar. Great honor for me to be again here in the WB Honours function. I have shared the journey of Sheetal and Anurag for the last 5 years. I'm very proud of what they have done for our nation, for bringing India on the world map.
Let me call upon the gentleman, one of the strong pillars of Finolex. Please welcome Mr. Nitin Kulkarni, President, Sales and Marketing, Finolex Industries Limited, to say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am elated to stand amongst the stalwarts of the building industry here this evening, who have come over to make this event a grand success. Thank you and have a great evening. Thank you.
Our first WB honor for the evening is Fine Lighting Design in the Spa. And the Fine Lighting Design in the Spa, Finolex presents WB Honours 2015, goes to Shangri-La Hotel, Bengaluru. And to give away the award, may I please request Mr. Parin Sarmalkar, Sales and Marketing Director, Donbra India Private Limited, to please join us on stage. And also Mr. Jignesh Modi, member of National Executive Committee, IID, and owner of Jignesh Modi and Associate, to please join us on stage to give away the honours. And with a big round of applause, please welcome Mr. Gaurav Arora, Director of Business Development, India, Shangri-La Regional Liaison Office, to come up on stage and receive the honor on behalf of Shangri-La Hotel, Bengaluru. One has to experience that. Congratulations to you. Now move on to the second honor this evening. It's a development of model public washrooms by state government body. To give away the honor, I would like to invite on stage Mr. V. Suresh, Advisor, Good Governance India Foundation and former CMD Housing and Urban Development Corporation Limited, and also request Mr. Jahangir Yar Khan, Joint President, Shriram Urban Infrastructures Limited, to please join us. And please welcome Ms. Trupti Sandbor, Deputy Commissioner, Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and Mr. Jitendra Raval, Deputy Engineer, to come up on stage and receive the honor. The third WB honor is in the field of efficient washroom design in public building. And to give away the honors, I would like to invite on stage Dr. Prem Jain, Chairman ACOM and Chairman IGBC, and also Mr. Habib Khan, Chief Architect, Smita and Habib Khan and Associates. Please put your hands together for Mr. Manish Daya, General Manager, Novotel Lavasa, and Area General Manager, Lavasa Hotels and Convention Center, and also Mr. Sachin Jagtap, Engineering Head, Novotel Lavasa, to please join us on stage and receive the honor on behalf of Lavasa International Convention Center. The next Finolex Presents WB Honors 2015 is the Technology-Driven Washrooms category. And to give away the honor, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Abu Bakr Koya, Managing Director, Gabriel Plumbing Technology India Private Limited, and Ms. Radhika Vishwanathan, Triple ID Chairperson, Delhi. And may I request Mr. Ashutosh Ruya, Associate Director of Sales, IBIS Navi Mumbai, to come up on stage and receive the honor on behalf of Hotel IBIS Navi Mumbai. Now for the fifth WB honor this evening, it's a unique interior design in hotel washrooms. And to give away this honor, I would like to invite on stage Ms. Zabeen Zakarias, Chief Architect Zabeen Zakarias Architects, and Mr. Parin Sarmalkar, Sales and Marketing Director, Donbra India Private Limited. And please welcome Mr. Ajoy Balakrishnan, General Manager, Grand Sarovar Premier, Mumbai, to receive the award. Moving on to the next honor for the Finolex Presents WB Honors 2015. It's a special contribution to plumbing, design and development. And to give away the honor, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Nitin Kulkarni, President Sales and Marketing, Finolex Industries Limited, and Mr. Abu Bakr Koya, once again Managing Director, Gabriel Plumbing Technology India Private Limited. And please welcome Mr. M.K. Gupta, MD, MKG Engineering Services Private Limited, and Chairman, Indian Plumbing Association, Delhi Chapter. Moving on to the next honor, who gets greener than it gets? It's the green washrooms. May I please request Mr. Nitin Kulkarni, President Sales and Marketing, Finolex Industries, to join us again. And also Mr. Neerav Parmar, Chairman, Builders Association of India, Mumbai Center, and Vice President, Contracts and Procurement, Shapurji Palanji Real Estate. And with a huge round of applause, please welcome Mr. Gurmeet Singh, Co-Chair, Mumbai Chapter, Indian Green Building Council, and Dr. Prem Jain, Chairman, Indian Green Building Council and Chairman, ACOM India, to come up on stage and receive the award on behalf of Trident Hyderabad. We now move on to the next honor. It's the Innovation in Public Washroom Design. And to do the honors, may I please invite Ms. Pragati Jain, Chairperson, Indore Chapter, Triple ID, and also Mr. Manoj Mathur from Premier Sanitation. And it gives me a pleasure to invite on stage Ms. Stanzin Kunzan, Principal, Druk Padma Karpo School, Ladakh, to receive the honor on behalf of Druk Padma Karpo School, Ladakh. Ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not the least, we present the final honor of the evening, the WB Lifetime Achievement Award 2015. I would like to invite on stage Ms. Sheetal Shetty, Editor and Publisher, along with Mr. Anurag Yadav, Consulting Editor, Washrooms and Beyond. Unfortunately, Mr. Doshi is not here with us today due to some last-minute emergencies, but may I request to please take a look at the audio-visual, that is special message.
I also want to take this opportunity to thank all my friends and colleagues who have come to this function and agreed to really look into what WB does and appreciate their work. Thank you for WB Lifetime Achievement Award, and I wish I was there, but unfortunately I am unable to come. So thank you again.
I request Mr. Dr. Prem Jain to receive the Lifetime Achievement Honor on behalf of Dr. Doshi, please. I request all the recipients of this evening to please join us on stage for a group photograph. please stay back. This is a picture-perfect moment and also the perfect moment to release the 5th anniversary edition of Washrooms and Beyond. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with a thunderous round of applause, let's witness the unveiling of the 5th anniversary edition of Washrooms and Beyond. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you for Nosis Services Limited's mega event, Design Dialogues 2015. Now, to begin the proceedings, may I please request Ms. Sheetal Shetty, editor and publisher of Nosis Services Private Limited, to come up on stage and say a few words. Please welcome Sheetal Shetty.
Thank you, Sachin. Coming back to our event called Design Dialogues, this is the 2nd edition of Design Dialogues that we are having. After doing the first session of Design Dialogues, where we had only one panel discussion last year, we spoke to the industry, that is architects, interior designers, and this year even developers, to know their take on the subject of bathrooms and kitchens. And like how I always say, you know, the best part about media and publishing is that you're always learning. The learning never stops. And after taking in inputs from various people that we've been meeting, this year we decided to have more of panel discussions. And what we are going to do is that the output which we get from the panel discussions, we're definitely going to use our publications to, speak about it even more.
Thank you. May I now invite Mr. Pratap Jadhav, President Triple ID, on stage for the address.
Kitchen design has always been very close to heart since we started working, because I believe if you really want to do a catch up with your client and do a better design for him and satisfy him, is the first one to satisfy in the house and the family is the lady of the house. And we've used to focus, and we have been focusing our efforts more towards the kitchen design and become real specialists in those categories. Thank you for inviting me here, and yes, with a hope of getting some social responsibility through this will be a big takeaway for all of us. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Simon Shepherdson, Managing Director, International Leisure Consultants, that's ILC, Hong Kong.
We are going to talk about the washroom as spa and the future of luxury washroom design. The reality is, in terms of looking at the future, we have to also go back to the past. Where did spa start? Salus per aquam, health by water, is the definition of spa. So it all started in Roman times with the washroom as a very important part of people's lifestyles, with caldariums, thermariums, frigidariums were all the elements that the spa started from. And those were the important aspects of bathing which were done both on an individual basis, but also then on a communal basis as well. So what we're going to talk about as far as the future of luxury washroom design is the whole aspect of health and wellness that is coming to the washroom. It's not just about looking after yourself, it's now how the future is as far as wellness is concerned. I've been to a couple of the global spa summits, which are now in their 8th year. They just had one in Mexico last month. It's now called the Global Spa and Wellness Summit, because the industry is moving towards wellness. It's moving towards how your lifestyle can be impacted about how you look after yourself in all aspects. And that includes in the washroom. Personalization becomes more important, where you as an individual can have that intimacy in the washroom, and it's through your own enjoyment and experience in that washroom that you can really get the benefit moving forward. So thank you all for your time and listening.
We shall now begin the first panel discussion of Design Dialogue 2015 that focuses on washroom as spa, future of luxury washroom design. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Milan N. Nulkar, MD, Center for Design Excellence, as he'll be moderating the session.
Good afternoon, everybody. So today's discussion on this washrooms as spas, basically when we are looking at the future of washrooms, especially the luxury washrooms, what exactly the washrooms are going to transcend into.
Nowadays people are exposed to the world.
Right.
So they have lots of experience otherwise. When they're visiting to any hotels and when they're traveling, everybody is having this kind of feeling that we should have something dream kind of environment.
You know, I come from the real estate background and from the designer fraternity. Let's face some typical problems which are there. First of all, I think so real estate, if we talk about Bombay or if we talk about any kind of a metro city, is extremely, extremely expensive. Getting space, we try to manage bathrooms as small a space as possible.
I think at the end of the day, we need to look at the context. The challenge today, I feel, in designing spas for a lot of homes, luxury homes, we're talking about, and when I talk about luxury homes, there are homes where people have done a 22,000 square feet spa for themselves. Today, majority, 99%, I feel, of the end audience don't know what they want.
There are so many options available nowadays in the market, and the ideas, it's more about the ideas than only about the money. Absolutely. And that we can incorporate in everywhere. Yeah. Sure. Bottom line is we need to understand, we need to educate, we need to deliver. And that is what is going to be the key.
Thank you. Next panel discussion today will be on bath and kitchen design. Can training fill gaps in creative outputs? Please welcome Khozema Chittalwala. Over to Mr. Chittalwala.
Have we realized, is there any distinct design principle change from what was there in Indus civilization and what we are practicing today?
What's changed is that at a time when Indus civilization, you knew where it's going and there was an ecological recovery of the waste, which is not what's happening now.
I think we've regressed, and phenomenally so. I mean, Indus Valley civilization was known for the fact that you had a very clearly laid out pattern in which the dwellings were laid out, and you know, the grid iron actually followed the need of the services to flow in a certain way, and I think that was highly sophisticated. That was intuitive. That was logical way of dealing with the life that we need to live in cities.
Recycling of waste was the way of life. You never threw away anything at that point in time, or even till say 50 years ago.
Both the toilet and the kitchen in the old days were seen as services. And in very old days, the toilets were outside, and then they came in. And they came in, and they've now become probably the kind of sinks of a large amount of money.
It had toilets indoors. It had kitchens inside the houses. It had a great bath that actually the whole city went and probably celebrated in. You know, and I don't think 21st century Indian people can actually reside in that city.
I think as a culture, we've just completely lost the fact that we need to be sensitive to the people around us, our surroundings. And when you talk about Indus Valley civilization, I think that as a culture was sensitive to humanity.
We actually need to, as a designer and architects, we need to get a little more responsible and try and take the learning what they were doing till here and try and be more sensitive to every aspect of design.
But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our third panel discussion and request Mr. Anand Tatu, CEO, MS Anand Tatu Architects, Planners, Interior Designers, to join us on stage. Will be moderating the session.
I think this subject which has been given to us is what goes behind a well-designed washroom and kitchen spaces.
It is now a challenge for the consultant or a builder to find the right combination of what pipe they should use, depending on their budget and the utility.
As a designer, I think customization is something which is most important for me. The second most important thing would be a comprehension and understanding of the services that go into both a kitchen as well as a bathroom.
I think we should look at lighting as a source that affects the human body at a physiological level and not at a physical level. And therefore, I think lighting design response to this situations, whether it's task or aesthetics, would be entirely taking into account the physiological changes that light brings about on the human body.
As Indians, we have evolved in the usage of a bathroom, and that's getting a lot more readily acceptable in society, whether it's large or it's small, in different versions and different ways. It's penetrated a lot more, whereas a modern kitchen, I think, is more for magazine covers as opposed to actually the use of the kitchen.
I think it's about time we wind up in that case. Thank you very much.